putting on that calendar, today I'm going to post about this topic. Why is that valuable?
Save time.
Yeah, time.
For me, it gives me something in advance that I know I'm going to have a topic and what date I'm going to actually write about it.
Okay.
So I don't have to think too much about it.
Okay. Okay.
Ours is consistency. It helps you stay consistent.
Huh? Stay on message, because we spent a lot of time in the last couple months, going through Lean Canvas, discovering what your unfair advantage is, and then turning that into a message that you're trying to communicate to your audience. And again, if you haven't worked through that, I think Chris and Dale and the guys did a fantastic job of presenting that. Go back through those archives or get with one of those guys, because it really helped me even reshape how I am laying out my content and what I'm trying to communicate about my business. So you guys all said that name, or word, I'm sorry. You said a word. So as you continue, and it'll change from time to time as you continue to refine, it's never a done process, because the audience changes, right? They change, and how we communicate with the audience has to change. So that word this year may be, whatever you said, and next year it may be something else, because your audience is adapting and changing. So they've adapted in a large scale, in mass quantities, to Facebook, so we'll focus a lot there. But these calendars you'll be able to apply also to Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, again, dependent on which pieces fit you best. So a little bit of review, content recipe from when I presented last time. So creating your content, we worked for a while on the different channels. We talked about you need the right mix for your business, because it's different if you're B2B or B2C, or if you're both, the right mix and the right tools for you. You combine the right tools with your message that you believe your audience is going to be most compelled by, and you put those together, and then we get to the right audience, right content. We define, hopefully, again, for most of you guys that have been around, who your audience was. We worked on that for a while, and many of you kind of reshaped who you thought your target audience was, combined it all, mixed it into a pot, and we have great content lasagna, right? We have great lasagna, all the right pieces, right pan, right contents, right recipe, and now we're at this place. We've got all the pieces, now what do we do with them? So one of the key things that I work with each client when I work with them, typically we'll sit down, and after we've somewhat defined who the audience is and what they want to say to the audience, then we begin to work on diversity. Because for most folks on social channels, it's really easy to fall into a single message that becomes like a hammer to the audience. They're like, please turn it off. Don't share any more of that single purpose. I mean, you would think that a refined single message would be a great thing, right? But not in a conversational network. Social media is two-way communication, and the goal is engagement, not broadcast. So this is the piece that I want to start with today. So what I suggest is a minimum of 4 segments. So in the top of each one of these topic segments, one of those topics would be your message, right? So you refined your message. I need to tell my audience I am an expert, Steve, on PC tech. Everything that has to do with PC tech. So we're going to work together on each one of anybody who's interested today. We're going to talk about your company and what tools. So, and I may refine that wrong. How would you define what you're communicating to your audience about computers? Sorry to put you on the spot.
Convey our technical expertise.
Technical expertise, absolutely. So when I look for a company like yours, I want somebody who's an expert in the field, right? Not somebody's cousin that's working in the closet that might be able to fix my machine, right? Big difference in that and an expert in the industry. So topic 1 for Steve is technical expertise in computer repair, okay? Now how can he communicate that? Let's just stick to, we're not going to stick to it because we're going to mix some pieces once I start talking about that. So how could Steve communicate that? And I'm talking tools, equipment, platforms,
Training.
reviews. Reviews is a way, okay?
Years of experience?
Years of experience.
A video of a happy customer.
Video testimonials, as well as video information pieces. So YouTube, mixing it in through the social channels.
Maybe giving advice on things that they maybe don't need to come to you for, like really simple things like, my computer is doing blank, this is what you should do to fix it.
Absolutely, right. So those simple freebies are great because, again, what does that say about Steve? It says,
He wants their computer to work.
I care, I'm willing to give you some free information, and I'm an expert, right? It goes
Available.
back to, I'm an expert.
And available.
Available, absolutely, okay. What are some other ways that he can communicate that, through that segment, that first segment, his expertise, his message, blog, okay, what else? In writing, hey, did you know Windows 8 is coming out, and here are the things that you're going to need to know about your machine in context of Windows 8. I have no idea what that is, but I know it's coming out.
I've seen it, I hate it.
Yeah. So yeah, right. What else? What are some other channels that maybe you use to communicate? What about photo?
You know, photos of a repair in process,
Yeah,
showing
yeah.
the tools.
Tools and pieces and parts and
Before and after shots or something?
before and after, right? Absolutely. Yeah. What else?
What about
Hope you're getting all this.
posing questions or posing issues on LinkedIn
Absolutely.
boards
Yeah.
or groups?
Absolutely.
And answering questions.
Absolutely. And that is going to apply to almost every one of you guys. The engaging part of asking questions, every one of these topics that you're going to talk about, somewhere within there should be video, there should be written content. Another one is valuable other links. So other experts in the industry, what are they saying that you need to know about PC expertise? And asking questions on all the channels. Pam?
I'm thinking for Steve, like, like if you want to have Dell computer and there are people asking about a problem they have, you could just give helpful information back, which,
Sure.
which then shows Steve up to all these people, but, and he's not trying to steal somebody from Dell,
No.
but he's being helpful.
Right, absolutely. So what are some other, we talked photo, and again, think in terms of all the channels, Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, YouTube, etc. So we're talking about utilizing all of them. LinkedIn, we're using all of those channels with all of these different pieces. And again, how you do that, I automate a lot of it. I'm hitting it from my blog and it's hitting all those channels. So whether it's a video or a photo or whatever it may be, an article, I'm not going to all the channels. I don't have that much time. You guys as business owners probably don't either. You need it to go and listen and engage the audience. Okay, so we did a little bit with Steve there. I want everybody to get a little bit of this today. If you're interested, what would be another channel for Steve? So this is where we're going to talk about diversity of channel, diversity of message. So again, you're seeing his stuff. What is something else that you could utilize in another topic? So you got this message. We already decided. PC expert is a message. What's another message you could convey to be a little more diverse in content?
I like to convey a sense of honesty, reliability,
Okay, okay. So
quality.
think in terms of, as a business owner in Tucson, what does your audience also care about? So you're thinking about your target audience. Let's say your target audience was 18 to 35-year-old males. I have no idea. I'm saying, what does that segment of population care about? Girls.
Video games.
New technology.
Gaming.
New
Video
technology is huge.
New
So
tech, yeah.
devices, mobile devices, new buzzy, cool gadgetry kind of things. Guys in that 18 to 35, and here's the ironic thing, because those guys are so into it, marketers understand that everybody up to 60 is looking at that audience as far as gadgets and cool things. So grandpa's got a new device and he's like, son, help me figure out how, you know, but he loves that idea of cool and buzz and technology. So that would be another channel that I would focus on for you. What's the latest and greatest in laptop technology? So again, this is a different topic. What else?
I was thinking sports.
Sports.
It's not,
Yeah,
it's not related,
Right.
but people are always interested in engaging with sports.
absolutely. Sports. So I would take another topic and I would put, again, if that was your audience, I would put sports. Another thing that I always try to tie into is local other businesses. What's going on in business in Tucson? So you're engaging with men and women who own businesses, who need PC repair, who care about, hey, did you hear about this thing and this new business opportunity or new company coming to Tucson or whatever that might be. So for me, that would be another channel. Another one that I write in most is, and I encourage every business to do this, is promoting other businesses. So that's a whole topic for me. I want to find other great businesses who are either in my industry or in any industry, and I want to promote them on a regular basis. Help me out with some more possible ideas. Let's go to some other businesses.
I have just a quick question. When you talk about promoting other businesses, are you talking about like things like the new restaurant down the street type
Sure.
of thing, or
Sure.
because my thing about you promoting other businesses, the first thing that comes to me is competition. You know, obviously you don't want to be promoting competition. You know.
I would disagree with that.
Shows you
A
as a
real
good
expert
person.
in social channels is willing to even promote a direct competitor if they have something that is really great about them. It shows that you are confident in who you are, confident in what you do. Now, I wouldn't focus on my direct competitor, but I would on some non-specific competitor areas. But I have directly promoted some of my friends now who compete with me toe-to-toe because they're great at what they do, and there's more than enough business for all of us. And I literally have people who view me as a bigger expert because I'm willing to do that. Does that make any sense? Again, within social channels, this
Yeah.
is not, you know, I'm not running an ad campaign for them. I'm saying,
Yeah.
I know that this guy did a great thing for this customer and the customer raved and raved about him. What a great business to have in the Tucson market.
In our business, in-home, which is in-home care for vulnerable persons, there are a number of companies in Tucson that provide that service, and we cross-refer because we don't always have the same expertise. So
Absolutely.
we need to share information with our competitors so that we know who can refer to us and vice versa.
Absolutely. I've had clients who came to me with something that I didn't have time for, or I know somebody who's better at it, and because I referred it to them, it still turned back to other business for me. So they're a direct competitor, and I said, you know what, I think you'd be better partnered with Joe, and you should go do this with him, and I make that connection. And long term, then I get some other development work out of that relationship because I was willing to put them with a great other business. Let's talk about David. So in-home, you said, say that again.
In-home care for vulnerable persons who
Okay.
need attendant care to avoid going into assisted living or a nursing home.
Okay,
to
so
enable them
in-home
to
care.
remain at home.
So your audience, let me see if I understand, would potentially be me who's caring for my mom and dad.
Elderly
Right.
parents, correct.
Okay.
Or a disabled child.
Okay, or a disabled
Both
child.
ends of the spectrum.
So in most cases, what would be your mean or your target age range that you would?
For service, for direct service, or
Yeah,
for
so
marketing?
for the person that is buying your services or you're
Probably the
communicating
boomers.
to. Okay, baby boomers.
Boomers, and
I think so, right?
sandwich generation
Okay.
type of thing.
So for David then, what are some other communication topics that they would care about?
Social Security?
Social Security, okay, okay, great. As long as you shape that within I would say a nonpartisan viewpoint, because you don't want to alienate, you have to.
Either side.
Yeah, so you're presenting it in an informational format and not necessarily staying away from the political side.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
one of those things that for most people you stay away from. What else? Boomers.
Security.
Retirement, security, what else?
Taxes.
Taxes, okay?
Safety.
Safety.
Stuff around the state.
You're getting all these, right?
I'm getting it.
Friendly staff?
Suicide prevention.
Suicide prevention.
It really is an
Okay.
issue in an aging
Okay,
population.
hot topic, hot topic.
Alternative care.
Alternative care,
Yeah.
okay?
Natural remedies.
Natural remedies.
Uh-huh.
Again, you know, a lot of folk, they're facing, they can't afford, there's not enough. How do I care for my loved one and we don't have funds to pay for the meds they need, right?
Right.
Okay?
I think there's the issue of guilt, thinking you should be the primary
True.
carekeeper
Absolutely,
and
absolutely.
rather than turning it over to somebody, so just dealing with their guilt, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, psychological
So some of these are, again, literally, you're gonna be able to break a whole topic, and then you're gonna be able to apply all the tools that you've said you wanna utilize to communicate to that audience in each of those topics. Okay, does that make sense?
Right, yeah, typically most of the clients we work with are not into social media, but it's their kids who are,
Mhm.
and the kids who are seeking assistance and care for them, so that's
Absolutely.
why
Right.
this is critical.
Fastest growing segment on Facebook, you guys remember that, is the boomer females. So again, that's the person who's hiring somebody to care for mom or dad,
Right.
okay? Any other topics you can think of for David that boomers care about?
There is a website called Caring Bridge. I don't know if anybody's heard of that.
Yes, of
Okay.
course.
That'd be a great area because it's basically the younger generation helping out, or talking about their loved ones and the issues that they're
Awesome.
having and so forth.
So that may even be a great resource
Yeah.
for David, for links. Oh, here's a great article or conversation that's going on about this that you care about. Good resource, great.
And are there a large number of help groups, I mean specifically where you go and you talk with others? Or is it just online?
No, there are groups in town for.
So like
for
live
Because I
support
would-
groups.
Support groups, Alzheimer's support groups, or,
Right,
various
but
kinds of
I
things.
have an immense number of friends going through this right now with their parents and whatever, and they're all struggling alone. And so
Mm.
there's not that avenue
So
where they
that's
don't perceive that there's an avenue where they could go get themselves some emotional support. Because as I see it, sort of the boundaries between the parent and the child were never drawn originally.
Yeah.
And so now it all comes back to bite you, you
Yeah.
know, I mean, in
Yeah.
a sense. And there doesn't seem, I don't hear about it. They're all dealing with it in an isolated fashion.
Right,
you
so
know.
there's a
So
potential,
it's isolated
That's very, it could be
somehow.
very big. yeah.
you're
I mean,
providing a
Just as huge.
resource.
Connecting
Yeah.
people.
So every one of you are going to, one of the channels is valuable resource provider, whatever that is.
Whatever that means.
But, so that one could be a very powerful
Very
one for you, because the more of that kind of group you discover, you could, that
Or
Wednesday,
create.
we're talking about support groups.
Or create.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I was also
Yeah.
going to mention that about the people who are looking for support for their disabled children.
Yeah.
That's huge
Yes,
for,
it
is.
for parents
Yes.
raising
Good.
kids with disabilities.
Support
is,
groups.
is that
Absolutely.
connection, play dates,
Yep.
and
I think that's some great help. Dave, you're gonna
Our
go out of
clients-
here with some,
I know.
Great
Our clients
stuff.
right now range in age from 10 to 90, so
wow,
we cover the
that's
spectrum.
pretty diverse.
And,
Well, and I wonder if there's some like groups that are, you know, like supporting each other like that you could get in and just engage in their conversations.
Sure. Sure.
Absolutely. I know they exist for the younger disabled children. There's some support
there's
groups
lots of
there.
them.
lot of them.
Um,
But for
and
this older boomer professional population
Mhm.
who are, you know, up in their careers and whatever, they are taking advantage of it. I mean, I see them at their desk, you know,
Yeah.
I see them,
Yeah.
they have nowhere, or they're not inclined yet to seek out something else, and I'm wondering what that, I mean, I wanna put them all together, because
Yeah.
it's so troublesome.
there's a potential piece there, whether it could work out for you time-wise, that you may be able to be a resource provider that turns into a wealth of connectivity within
Right.
that audience.
right.
One website you might want to look at as far as like the investment and retirement side of things is concerned is CNN Money. They tend to have more than a lot of the other financial
Good
sites
resource. Good resource.
for things of that sort of topic.
Yep.
And not only that, the way that they word everything is in a down-to-earth fashion, not in like something like the Wall Street Journal or.
Okay, we need to move on to another business. Go ahead, Pam.
If there isn't a resource on Facebook or whatever, a group, that you could start one that's,
Right.
that's not about you, but
Right. It's about the issues.
About the
So,
issue.
right, the issues.
Highly connectivity. I think there's a huge opportunity there. Who else?
you're gonna be busy.
Raise your hand. We want to do your business. Okay?
I do air conditioning, heating and air conditioning.
Heating and air conditioning. Okay?
One of the topics would be maintenance on an air conditioner.
Okay.
I mean,
So one topic would be, and again, you guys probably, being in Arizona, how important is it to have your AC functioning properly, right? I mean, when that thing goes out and you're in the middle of a heat wave, oh my goodness. I mean, what a nightmare that is. You transplant the whole family and all of those pieces. So, right, maintenance, AC maintenance. That's a topic, and then you would apply that topic to all of the channels. You're going to provide links and resources from outside sources.
right.
You would provide photo and video content of, you know, if your AC unit looks like this, your next step is calling a service guy to come and do X, Y, and Z.